Wait, are we? Oh, that's so smart! We're doing the thing from the first case! The nightmare vision he had. That is such a clever thing. A full circle Okay. You know what? For as terrible as the first case was, credit where credit is due. That is such a smart way to tie that in. It seemed so insane at the time, but it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Oh my god, that's so smart. That's such a smart way to tie that in. So this has to be the final case then. I've had this dream before, someplace, some time ago. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. This must be the final case then. Like, if they're doing that kind of a full circle thing, this has to be the final case. Anyway, hello and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Justice for All. Where last episode, we uncovered the truth, which is that Matt on guard is in fact the killer, and that the killer and the killer are two different people. Matt the killer, well, you know, I mean, he didn't physically murder Juan Carita, but he may as well have. Regardless, semantics. The killer is on the run with Maya. It all comes down to this. I am so unbelievably, I'm on the edge of my seat to find out what happens next. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too.
Now listen up. You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you, ever.
Maya. Phoenix. Mia. Maya. How's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia. What? What am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here, not anywhere. Oh, it's that accursed on guard again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Gumshoe, I'm really sorry. Where are you? Then let me join the investigation team. We're chasing after the killer, pal. Yeah, Gumshoe to the rescue. Then you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not gonna give up. Gumshoe, until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're going to do everything we can and find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go on misdirection with everything you've got, then you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. Oh, yes we can. Believe in us. We're going to give it all we got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. This is such a climactic finale. I really hope this is the last case. Not because I want the game to be over, but because we've been building up to it the whole time. Oh my god, this is so tense. It's such a climactic finale. Hey, Phoenix, you understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. Yeah. Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make this trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. March 23rd, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrienne Andrews' role in this murder. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrienne Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. On guard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. There goes my water bottle. Good thing there's a cap on it. My friend had an open bottle of water, or it was like an open cup of water, and his cat jumped up onto his table, knocked over the water bottle, and spilled all over his laptop. So that was fun. Fortunately, he eventually saved up to repair it. It broke earlier this year, so he saved up money so he could actually repair it. Because believe it or not, repairing a computer, not cheap. Especially when the entirety of the inside was destroyed because the water poured on it. Anyway, off topic. We have Maya to save. We have an innocent Maya to save and a guilty on guard to convict.
So you're saying that she is guilty after all?
I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews had nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card.
What is that? It looks like a shell.
This is the calling card of a certain assassin.
Is it an assassin, you say?
Yes, Swan. Corrida was killed by a professional assassin, and the person who will hire the assassin, his client, so to speak, is not on guard.
Yep, all true.
What a surprising turn of events.
I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor.
I know what's going on this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can, at least until Maya is safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today.
Well then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, who has the real powers to the stand.
Long time no see, buddy.
Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please.
Okay, I'm Will Powers. I'm a poor underpaid action star.
And what is your relation to the defendant?
I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry, well, I'm just kind of a normal thing sort of guy.
On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I want.
All you need to do is answer what you asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Rongarde's room.
Okay, sure.
Okay. What are you getting at here, buddy?
After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in the Nickel Samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. I looked at them for a while, but then I gave him one back.
Okay, why did you give up?
I guess with me, then I couldn't make them wait for me. I don't think it sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony.
And talking with the bellboy is no big deal.
If one assumes that the person Mr. Ongar was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy.
What are you implying?
Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we?
Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just going to have to charge in head first, right? Oh boy, okay. Cross-examination. Well, first things first. You gave up and you went back, huh? No, I didn't want it. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant together, correct?
Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats.
Now, while you're watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange?
You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
A tip? That's a perfectly normal thing to do.
So how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think.
Okay. That's... Can you add... Wait, can you add that to your testimony? Because I might be able to do something with that. At first, what do you mean by that?
I didn't think it was a normal bellboy.
And why was that?
Why do you think that, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to... Oh, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated...
You know, that is something weird. I think it was because Matt gave the bellboy a tip.
Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself?
Yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor?
This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he?
Perhaps we should let the witness tell us.
Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? Matt gave the bellboy a tip.
Okay. Well then, tell me more about that. Because... I have a feeling I might be, depending on the amount of money that was given, I might be able to work with that.
Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me.
How much it was?
That's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket, and that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked.
I'm afraid I don't follow at all. Sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. One of which was shocking moments I should, the tip. I'm really focusing on the amounts that the tip was given. The defendant is a huge star. He can't afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree?
Sure, but giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think.
A little too much?
Would you please clarify for the court about how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy?
Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that?
Because he gave the bellboy a really
Fat roll of cash? A roll of cash! As a tip!
Ah, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it?
A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor.
The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Okay. So my thought process there was that maybe we'd be able to tie that to the, where is it now? To this. If it was like this, like maybe the transaction happened here, but that turned out to be nothing, so I'll just drop it. Never mind. That would be what we call a dead end. I mean, who can argue that a fat roll of money isn't really odd?
So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it?
Payment, Your Honor.
Payment?
Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida.
Then the bellboy the witness saw.
Yes, he was the assassin.
Hold your horses now, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any proof of this, do you?
Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley the Killer left at the scene of the crime.
Shelley the killer.
He is the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the Killer.
Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers?
No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I've just figured something out.
Oh? Actually, I saw the bellboy again later on the night.
What?
Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Right away.
Okay. Second time. Thing is, none of this really matters. Like, we're not chasing any new truths here because we already know what's going on. So now, all we can really, like, the only reason we're even doing this at all is just to delay this for as long as we possibly can. Because we have the evidence to convict him guilty.
This time I was in the hallway because I had to go to the bathroom, and that's when the bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I meant Juan Corrida's room. I don't know what I think about it, but
Why did he seem out of place? Why did he seem out of place?
Thank you very much. That is all we need for now.
Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more.
Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see.
So the bellboy came out of the victim's room, and if that bellboy really was an assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious.
That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh.
Ha 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 ha. This is no laughing matter. You don't say, Mia. Okay. So, what about the bellboy seemed kinda out of place? Riddle me that, Batman. So what exactly was so out of place about him?
Right. Why the insipid grin?
Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing is going to say next?
Well, the bellboy was empty-handed.
Empty-handed?
The boy was one of those room service people, right? But it wasn't pushing a cart and it wasn't holding a tray either. You call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers.
But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Powers we have to extend it as long as we can. So any opportunity we have, just go at it. There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy.
But there really is.
There really isn't.
If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed. Ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one.
Edgeworth, are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious?
I see. Very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please.
Kind of strange. Okay. There's something here. I mean, so if he dropped, let's actually wait. Let me go look at the crime photo. I just had an idea. So let's assume that he dropped off. He wouldn't drop off the wine glass. He would have dropped off the tomato juice, which is on a tray. Okay, so he drops off the tray in the room. So I guess we just show this. Yeah, let's just present the crime photo because it shows that so he went in there, dropped it off. That's why he was empty-handed. Mr. Powers.
Yes?
You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true.
But isn't it really suspicious? You got all the stitches and...
So? A baseball has stitches. Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches?
Well, there's also, I mean, what about him being empty-handed?
I would like to ask the court to please take a look here.
This is the crime scene.
There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Corrida's body. The liquid inside the glass is tomato juice. And now if you look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that it's a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left.
But that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room.
Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at that time?
Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes?
I blame you for leading me down this route.
I'm terribly sorry.
What is with him? Why is he laughing?
Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us?
Is there?
The bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say, empty-handed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Huh? What?
That bellboy, he was wearing gloves.
Gloves?
Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind.
Boy, does this make this bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves.
Come on, Mr. Wright, that bellboy was wearing black leather ones.
So, a football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they are made of leather? God, I feel like a prosecutor now.
Like when Mr. Von Karma was like, well, Mr. Wright, my granddaughter is named Phoenix. Does this by or I have a, or
What did he say? He said something like,
I have a granddaughter named Phoenix. Does this by definition, does that mean you are therefore related to my granddaughter, or something like that? But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant, and then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy.
It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony.
the rest?
Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay.
Witness testimony, their second meeting. Okay.
After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room.
Okay, what did he give to this person there?
Then the ogre just left without him going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat.
Okay. Great.
So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, went next went to the defendant's room? Yeah, I kinda saw that by accident.
Some accident, I'd say you saw too much. And although it was suspicious to high heaven.
I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. Well, the first thing I'm gonna ask about is actually, let's figure out who the person was. That's probably more important. I said, hold it.
Okay.
That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details.
Okay.
I should probably ask them only one question at a time. Person inside. Ask about the person inside. So, who took this something the bellboy handed off?
Actually, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm?
Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face?
Yeah. Well, it was Mr. Enguard's room, correct? So it could have only been Mr. Enguard himself, I'd say.
And then, what did the bellboy do after that?
Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing...
No, I want to ask about the something as well. Just skip past all this so that we can ask about... Because I'm assuming we can ask the other thing. Yeah, ask about this something. He gave something to this person?
Yeah.
And what was this something?
If I remember what it was, I wouldn't be calling it something, wouldn't I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kind of small.
I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm.
Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really about important?
Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client.
Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see, I think it was... No. If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say it for sure, but it looks like some sort of wooden statue.
Oh, the teddy bear. The thing, right? A wooden bear figure. Yup, that's what it is.
What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up.
It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling something bad's going to happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw. Was it this item?
Oh, hey, that's it. That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out.
I recall we found this in Madame Guard's mansion.
At the defendant's house? What does this mean?
It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated one courier in his room, and then he stole the wooden bear from the scene of the crime.
Then the bear being found in Mr. Enguarde's mansion would mean...
It goes without saying, Your Honor, Mr. Matt Enguarde is the killer's client.
Order! 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 I said order, Mr. Wright. This is the most unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it too.
I figured it's clear that there was no need for us to continue this trial.
No! We can't. I have to do something. There has to be something we overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please!
Yes, Mr. Wright?
There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored.
What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright. What question would you like to explore further?
The person who received the bear. Because Powers said he only saw the giver's arm. He only saw that. There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of...
Well, what is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear.
What?
Really? I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm, it was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it.
You've gotta be kidding!
Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers?
Yeah, I'm sure it was a Nickel Samurai.
Okay. Forget that plan. How about...
It looks like you've dug your own grave yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count.
So the person who took in this little bell was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt Enguarde is a Nickel Samurai.
Okay, can we ask one of the other things?
Thanks to the offense, we made that all the clearer.
What am I supposed to do now? Mia, help! You don't have time to act lost. You've got to find another angle to attack us from. Hurry!
No.
Your Honor!
Again, Mr. Wright, we've already removed any and all questionable areas of this testimony.
It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright.
I have to find something. Even one more little point will do. There are still questions left unanswered.
What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that.
Alright. Okay, so that one wasn't... That one didn't work. I guess we just ask about the bear itself. I don't know what relevance it has to do with anything, but we just ask that. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable.
The bear, Mr. Wright?
This was found at Mr. Enguarde's mansion. However, Mr. Enguarde was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the... Or I think it said asleep. Which means that since the murder had occurred, he has not had a chance to go home.
Oh.
I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Enguarde who took this bear to his mansion.
Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Phew, disaster averted. Oh, come on, Edgeworth.
You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Enguarde's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape.
I can't believe it. That butler. All this time, he was the killer.
The killer and Enguarde were working together, so to speak, and the killer was hiding in Enguarde's mansion as its butler.
Oh, what a bold move.
The bear figurine was brought back to Enguarde's mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Enguarde had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now.
This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all?
I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in the room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Enguarde. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my murder.
No, we can't do that!
Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you?
I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth.
Any last objections, Mr. Wright?
Well, no, we can't hear the verdict. That'll screw everything up. Raise an objection. There was only one way for me to drag this trial out. Why? We can say, well, you see, it was just the costume. We don't know for sure that it was actually Matt Enguarde in the costume. And then I guess we pin that on Miss Andrews, right? That'll draw this out, right? Even if we get proven wrong that it's her, That'll at least extend... The goal here, right, the goal here isn't to win anymore. The goal here is to extend the trial as long as we possibly can so that Gumshoe can find Maya and rescue her. That's all we're trying to do anymore. Your Honor, right now we have these 2 reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at On Guard Mansion. However, it's possible that this is all the work of a certain other person.
What are you saying?
What I am saying is it is possible for a different person to have been the client's the killer's real client.
The real client?
Yes.
Tisk tisk, is this all you have?
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client?
Therefore, yep, it's gotta be... you.
Adrian Andrews?
Yes. We already know that you tried to frame Matt on guard for the crime. By wearing a spare nickel samurai costume.
Then that's a nickel samurai arm that I saw.
That could have very well been Miss Andrews.
But what about Mr. On Guard?
If you would, please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period.
That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. On Guard's mention,
It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this?
I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there's no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either.
What about this trial? Come on, anyone can tell Mr. On Guard did it. I can't believe the defendant would go so far as to pin the guilt onto someone else.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty, it's a murder of all things. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on.
Order! 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 All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom.
Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game.
His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it was strange and wondered. Why would the criminal want this little wooden bear?
He's right. The killer did specifically bring the bear to On Guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it?
Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows the significance, the truth killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear up all doubts against Mr. Andrews.
And who would that be?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself.
Yeah, it is. It's really confusing as to why the bear is there in the first place. Like, what's the significance of the bear? That's my question.
I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare as witness in the meantime.
Yes, Your Honor.
March 23rd, 11:54 a.m.
Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian.
I swear this demon will pay.
Mr. Nick!
Pearls? Where's Mia?
I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away.
A really strong power? Please be Gumshoe, please be Gumshoe, please be Gumshoe.
Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is...
It's from Gumshoe.
How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal?
Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto.
Phew, that's good, pal.
And what about you? Have you anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are?
We still don't have any leads, but
What? We don't have any more time.
if we just had one, even a single clue would really be helpful.
Mia's our only shot. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent. Huh? A tent? I can see a circus tent. Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in the dusty little room right now. But I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. I'll tell you what, if the circus characters are the reason why Maya lives, I might be a little bit more forgiving towards that blasted last case. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now?
There's one.
Yep, the very big circus. Is Maya somewhere within the 300-foot radius of the main tent?
What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map. About a 300-foot radius of the main tent. Hurry!
And I can see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox.
Okay, what else?
What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. I felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so.
I heard her, an old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there. A little while longer, pal. Wish us luck.
Good luck.
I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal?
Come on, Edgeworth. Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Okay, here we go. The final showdown. Let's do it.
Court will now reconvene.
The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder.
I understand.
Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews?
Of course I have.
You have seen it before?
That's right, it's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to the bear's secrets?
Alright. Why does she... The bear figurine. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart, one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Okay...
So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it?
Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
It looks like there really was something to the bear after all.
Okay, cross-examination, the bear figurine.
I guess we just press everything? A puzzle? That's right.
But it looks like an ordinary figurine.
True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? So you can take it apart? And how would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in.
Oh yes, I see.
After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed.
Ooh, this is most interesting.
A boy and his new toys like he's 5 all over again. What?
Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on.
I think he's lost it.
So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart?
And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when my friend and I went to Switzerland.
Then this is a present from you?
That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so that would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews.
Witness, let's continue with your testimony.
Because of its complexity. So who exactly knew how to solve the puzzle? Only 2 of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there were many people with the same bear in the country.
But this looks like it can be easily broken. Especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside.
Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's broken. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone, and as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the 2 of us knew. 2 of you, huh? So then of course, so what, my thought process is what would be inside that thing? What's something that's small enough to fit inside a tiny little bear, and yet significant enough for it to play any role in the story whatsoever? Oh! The suicide note! The suicide note! The suicide note! That's where it is! It's inside the bear! I guarantee you that's what it is. The suicide note. It's a present for Juan. Juan hid the note, right? So he hides the note inside the bear. That's why it's never been found. Guarantee you. Guarantee you that's what it is. I think this is about all I'm gonna get for now. Okay. So can we ask her to open it?
Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box?
What's inside?
That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness. You are the only one who can open this. Please.
I know I'm right. I know I'm right. As a painful silence left the courtroom, all eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. Yup! I knew it! It's a piece of paper. It's gotta be. Looks like a note. A note? Note? Come on. It's gotta be it.
I don't think we need to guess what that is, do we, Mr. Wright?
It's this. Yup! I knew it! Oh my god! It makes so much sense as to why it would be hidden there.
It's the suicide note.
A suicide note?
The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager, Celestin Pax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corrida himself. It seems Celeste Impact has a very beautiful handwriting. And she has just as beautifully signed her own name on the document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide.
Order! Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere.
Because it had already been taken by the killer.
Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right, at least that's what I would think.
Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note to be made known.
I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it, and I was going to burn it for her sake.
I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud.
Very well. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impacts left to us a record of all that had happened to her, about being used and then thrown away by On Guard, about being engaged to Corrida and On Guard's role in destroying that, and about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all.
And that's all Miss Impacts had to say.
There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. On Guard.
Then what?
Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness?
Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference.
My word.
Man on God's values, above all else, his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost.
Okay.
It's Arnold's fault that woman killed herself. How terrible. What a selfish person to get her.
Slime all lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too.
There is no room for doubt here. Mr. Tequila's client's goal was to obtain the suicide note. And the only person who needed the note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget what the bear with the note inside was found in the defendant's house.
It seems we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from everyone.
How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay. There are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those. The suicide note of the figurine, which one is... The only thing I can think of is that we can push for, like, a handwriting check on the suicide note. It's terrible, it's awful, but it's the only thing I can think of to get ourselves out of the situation, to extend the trial. Please wait, Your Honor.
Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care, like he's trying to get a killer off the hook.
I think Your Honor believes that Matt on Guard killed him in order to obtain this note.
Yes, that is correct.
But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there was a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Corrida until the night of the murder. If that is the case, I see the Matt on Guard could not have known what was written on this note. Exactly, but I didn't think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said.
Order, order, order. You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently.
I believe a show of appreciation is in order.
Huh?
The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this.
What is that?
It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. The type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying.
Spying?
What the? I thought this camera was in my possession.
Matt Guard and the victim both thought of each other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses.
And?
The victim, Juan Corrida, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt Guard.
Order, order. Ahead, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
You don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities.
Well, sort of.
Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright.
I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. you're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But the cameras that I have is not that same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this
Gumshoe's bug sweeper.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera.
Bodyguard's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence?
I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Angard learned the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along.
You got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey. Now, what's that lawyer thinking?
Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shush, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is...
Phoenix. Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Just running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edwards is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence that he should really investigate. Something he should investigate? See, the prosecutor gets scolded for not remembering to look in the eye when he had a chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden?
Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you?
What is this piece of evidence missed? It's probably the suicide note. I did say the handwriting could be checked.
That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily.
You are beginning to sound desperate.
That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said?
So you're telling me that I forgot something?
You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence.
That is back to suicide note, right?
Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside the bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means... the handwriting in the suicide note is yet to be analyzed.
Oh.
So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impax or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed.
Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting...
Mr. Wright, are you saying the suicide note is a fake?
Mr. Andrews.
Mr. Andrews, you are the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Angard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? How dare you?
Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There was no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever.
But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it.
What?
Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it just so you could frame Mad Angard. I did no such thing.
Right. If you're going to pronounce the suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory.
Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of piece of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution.
That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting of the suicide note?
It is as the defense has stated. The handwriting is yet to be analyzed.
If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where our verdict is impossible.
That's impossible. This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I requested both the prosecution and defense further investigate.
Oh, good God. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty, 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 guilty. Everybody's against us. Gumshoe! Gumshoe's coming to save the day. Yes, that's it. We can do it. It's Gumshoe. Hello, Gumshoe? Well, what is with him? What's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer?
He got away.
What?
I'm sorry, pal, I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way I can make it up to you, I really do.
Anyway, what's going on?
We found his hideout, pal, but the two of them are already gone.
This is terrible.
I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time, but don't tell me we don't have any more.
Yeah, Gumshoe, we have no time. We have nowhere left to turn to. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head.
Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far in. Oh,
What is it?
let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth.
I can't do that.
Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
I am about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after.
Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch!
Mr. Edgeworth, please, I gotta buy us some more time.
Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying?
Mr. Wright, this is a court of law.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but
I am reluctant to do this, however. It appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow.
this time I really can't. Please, Edgeworth, please, come on. Court is no adjourned for the day. Edgeworth, come on. Yes! Edgeworth saves the day! Again!
Please wait, Your Honor.
Edgeworth?
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time.
For what purpose?
We can perform the necessary test on this piece of evidence in that time.
But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes?
I believe we can, Your Honor.
But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and reconvene tomorrow?
30 minutes, please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for.
Please, Your Honor.
Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today.
I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us.
The court will now take its final recess of the day.
Oh my god, Edgeworth, you saved the day again. Right, well, what's going on with my situation? The killer. It looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find him in that time. Gumshoe? Report.
Is that Mr. Edgeworth?
We don't have time. Just spit it out.
Right. It looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident and has rushed to get away.
A few things?
Can we use any of them as evidence?
Oh, I thought you'd ask, pal. I got the things she left with me right now and I'm on my way over.
Really?
That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first.
We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran.
What?
Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I gotta put the law on hold for now.
Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this.
My hunk of junk car said I'd be there in 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me.
Alright, just get him in one piece.
I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling on all the stops and running every...
That's a terrible idea. Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this.
Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me.
No one can stop.
No! Did they just kill off Gumshoe? No! You can't do that. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to do this to me. You're not allowed to do this to me. What happened?
It sounds like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well.
No! What was he thinking? We gotta hurry and call for help.
But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and we wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio.
No! Oh, the thing that Von Karma put on it. The tracker. We can use that. Oh, and Francisca knows where it is. We can send Francisca to go get him.
Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them.
No, we can't let that happen.
Well, if there's a way we can find out where he is,
There is a way. Von Karma's thing. Is there any way? Yes, there is. There is a way. There is a way. That's right, there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where the Detective Gumshoe is through Von Karma.
Why are you bringing up Francisca at a time like this? Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have.
Francisca, will she even want to help us? Edgeworth.
What is it?
I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death.
Right. Doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided.
The verdict.
Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here?
Yes, bailiff.
There's a phone call waiting for you, sir. It said it was extremely urgent.
They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do.
Oh my god. Could the stakes be any higher? I think the finale's coming up. I think next episode's gonna be the finale. Oh my god. This is so tense. Okay. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next one. I hope to catch you all later today for what is looking to be the finale of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Goodbye.